Hey, everybody. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. How y'all doing? Let me get on over here to the press conference for y'all. Since everything needs to be charged all of a sudden. Boy, stop now. You do this every time I come on here. Boy. Okay, starting.
Lab technicians and scientists, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for the resources and personnel to conduct this massive investigation. It was the dedication of them and the persistence and the numerous hours that led to an arrest. Fortunately, these highly skilled people worked together as a cohesive team to solve this case. I also want to thank our community and the nation. Over the past 6 weeks, I've been continually reminded of how much our community cares. Locally, public support has been exceptional with kind words, food for investigators, and letters of support. You will never know how much your words of encouragement help us through these trying times. I appreciate each of you and each of your kindness. Agencies and individuals from across the nation have reached out to us to express their support for this department. I'm reminded how our Moscow community, our families, and the nation has been impacted by this daily. Finally, I do want to thank our media partners for the help. You kept this in the news, you helped us with tips, you kept things going, and we truly appreciate that. And you are the product of those 19,000 tips that we received, which is an impressive number. I would like to invite Bill Thompson, the county prosecutor, up at this time.
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Bill Thompson. I'm the Latah County prosecutor. And it's sad to be here, but happy to be here at the same time. As Chief Fry indicated, a criminal complaint was filed yesterday here in Latah County, charging the defendant, Mr. Kohberger, with 4 counts of first-degree murder, in addition to felony burglary, which involves entering the residence with the intent to commit the crime of murder. Mr. Kohberger, let me preface, there is a pending case now in court, and I and my office and the investigators have to live with the restrictions that our Supreme Court places on pretrial publicity. That said, I promise you we will share with you through the court process or otherwise whatever we are allowed to. I just appreciate your patience on that. The factual basis for the charges are summarized in what's called a probable cause affidavit that is on file with the court. According to the rules of the Idaho Supreme Court, that is sealed until Mr. Kohberger is physically back in Latah County and has been served with the Idaho arrest warrant. At that time, we expect that that affidavit will be available to you so you can share the true facts with all of your readers and your watchers and your listeners and all the people who are interested and really need to know what's going on. So please have patience with us on that. We hope to get that to you as soon as we can. As far as Mr. Kohberger, I can share with you that he is a graduate student at Washington State University and has an apartment residence over in Pullman. He has had an initial appearance in front of a judge in Pennsylvania. He is being held without bond, and the warrant from our magistrate judge here also provides for no bond. We understand that he's scheduled to be back in court in Pennsylvania next Tuesday afternoon, and that a public defender has been appointed for him there. The process at this point is, since he was arrested in another state, he has the opportunity to either waive extradition and return voluntarily to the state of Idaho, or if he prefers not to waive extradition, then we will initiate extradition proceedings through our governor's office. If we do that, it can take a while for him to get here. So again, I'm asking for your patience and understand that's just the way the system works. Once he gets here, he'll have an initial appearance with our magistrate. They'll deal with issues such as making sure competent counsel is representing him, and the case will be scheduled for further hearings. Your primary source of factual information is going to be the court record, because that's what the Supreme Court says we need to refer you to. So please pay attention to what's going on in court and have people there to watch and hear what's being said. As an attorney, myself and my office, we are limited on what we are allowed by the courts to say outside of the courtroom. So please just work with us. Finally, as the chief indicated, this is not the end of this investigation. In fact, this is a new beginning. You all now know the name of the person who has been charged with these offenses. Please get that information out there. Please ask the public, anyone who knows about this individual, to come forward, call the tip line, report anything you know about him to help the investigators and eventually our office and the court system understand fully everything there is to know about not only the individual, but what happened and why. Next, I'll introduce Colonel Ked Wells from the Idaho State Police. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Kedrick Wills. I serve as the director of the Idaho State Police and certainly want to express our appreciation for your attendance here today. These tragic murders took 4 young, vibrant lives from our community. Nothing we do can bring them back. The only thing that we can do in law enforcement to honor their memories that we know of is to bring this to a successful conclusion. This has been a very difficult time for the families, the university, the community, and the state of Idaho. However, it is also proven that communities come together in tough times. Certainly appreciate the support of the local community and our national audience that has been following us as our investigators have worked through this case. I'm thankful also to you, the media partners, who have helped keep this case in the forefront that generates the tips and we hope will continue to generate information that will help us to a conclusion of this proceeding. I'd like to express our appreciation on behalf of the Idaho State Police to Chief Fry, his leadership, and the entire Moscow Police Department for the way that they handled this from the very beginning. He directed the right people to the right positions that led us to this conclusion today. I've had the utmost confidence in this investigation and in Chief Fry, as well as in Mr. Bill Thompson and the Latah County Prosecutor's Office, who've been a great partner throughout this. Nothing has deterred the commitment of the investigators who've worked on this case, regardless of the organization they represent. It's been very trying and very difficult, as you know, that it has been on those investigators as they do the tedious work that they're so good at doing. The partnerships is what's led here as well. The partnerships between Moscow Police Department, I'd like to express our appreciation with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, specifically the special agent in charge out of the Salt Lake City Division, Dennis Rice, and also the work that happened in the last 24 hours in Pennsylvania with the arrest with the Pennsylvania State Police and Colonel Evanchik with the Pennsylvania State Police. We appreciate what they've done across the nation to help us as well. As Bill shared, this investigation is far from over. In fact, I appreciate what he shared, that this is not an ending, but rather a new beginning. The difference now is, as he shared, that we are dictated what information we can share by the court process and by laws in our state of Idaho. And so we will share, as he shared, Mr. Thompson is absolutely committed to share everything he can share through the court process. We've got to make sure that we don't get in front of that process. And we really deeply appreciate everybody's support here. The relationships that were forged here and the partnerships that were forged have led to this. And based on that is why we're here today. And we continue to believe that the best way we can honor these 4 lives that have been taken is to make sure that we have a successful outcome here. One of the partnerships that's been forged throughout this is a partnership with the University of Idaho. And on that, I'd like to introduce the president of the University of Idaho, Mr. Scott Green.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Scott Green, President of the University of Idaho. Today's news of arrest is a welcome one. It's relief to our university, our community, and our extended Vandal family. The outpouring of support over the past 6 weeks helped sustain us during the most trying time. It provided the strength that helped us navigate the international scrutiny visited on our students and employees. We are truly thankful for the compassion and acts of kindness shown to our community. Kindness is contagious, and it provided the light that reclaimed ground lost to evil and darkness. We first want to acknowledge and thank Governor Little for the early promise of financial support that enabled the university to secure our campus and focus on helping our students and our employees in the wake of the crimes. We also appreciate the Idaho State Police and the highly visible security presence that brought comfort and calm to a community shocked and confused by the senseless crimes. We never lost faith that this case would be solved and are grateful for the hard work of the Moscow Police Department and their law enforcement partners. Vast and committed FBI resources brought important expertise to this complex case. Across the board, dedicated, highly competent personnel worked this case to arrest. This crime has nevertheless left a mark on our university, our community, and our state. While we cannot bring back Maddie, Kaylee, Zaina, and Ethan, we can thoughtfully and purposefully carry their legacy forward in the work that we do. Our students come first, and that was proven each and every day of this investigation. We are committed to safely delivering the college town atmosphere, campus experience, and high-touch quality education for which the University of Idaho is known. With time, we will heal. We will move forward together, and we will remain Vandal strong. With that, I'd like to turn it back over to Chief Fry.
So now we will open the floor to questions. However, I want to remind everyone, as Prosecutor Bill Thompson explained, any factual information regarding the arrest of Kohberger is currently sealed per Idaho law and will not be released until he has appeared in an Idaho court. Please formulate your questions accordingly. I recognize there are a lot of questions, and I will try to answer as many of them as I can.
Lauren Patterson, Northwest Public Broadcasting, Spokane Public Radio. I realize the records are sealed. I guess I'm not too familiar with how it works, but can you tell us what tip, what lead, what piece of evidence really led you all the way from Idaho to the suspect in Pennsylvania?
As I've said in the past, that's part of our investigation, and we won't be releasing that at this time. We will have those answers. We'll have them as soon as we can make those available to you.
Then a quick follow-up and a two-parter. Is our community safe, or is law enforcement still on the search for other suspects who might be involved in this attack?
What I can tell you is we have an individual in custody who committed these horrible crimes, and I do believe our community is safe, but we still need to be vigilant, right? We still have talked about this in the past. We always need to be aware of our surroundings and make sure that we're aware of what's going on.
Hi, Chief. How soon into the investigation did police and law enforcement begin to spot Mr. Kohberger as a potential suspect? And a follow-up, how many tips, if you can say, were specifically related to Mr. Kohberger?
To the tip part, honestly, I can't answer that question, so I'm not even going to speculate on that. On the other part, that's part of our investigation, and it will come out. I'd like the mic to please come right over here.
Thank you. Dana Griffin with NBC News. Can you confirm that Kohberger asked whether or not anyone else had been arrested when he was in custody?
I cannot confirm that, or I'm not sure of that information, but that would still be a part of our investigation.
Did CODIS initially return any hits on this guy?
That's still part of our investigation, and that will come out. If we could get somebody over here, please.
And then one final question. Is there any message to the online sleuths who slandered and harassed people who they believed were responsible?
There was a lot of speculation going on, and we've always said from the very beginning that we're the official message that comes out, and to pay attention to what we're putting out there to the press.
I'm Nancy Liu with News Nation, and we were over at the house this morning, and you told us that the remediation would begin today. It was suddenly stopped. Can you tell us why?
Yes. The house cleanup has been halted, and that came by a legal request from the court.
Christina Corbin, Fox News. Chief, have you identified a motive
victims?
That is part of the investigation, and that will come out as we continue the investigation. But what we still ask is for people to continually send us things in the tip line. We are still looking for more information. We're still trying to build that picture, just like we have stated all along. We're putting all the pieces together, and that will help.
Chief Veronica Miracle with CNN. Any indication that the suspect knew the victims?
That's part of the investigation as well. It won't be something that will come out at this point in time, but as we continue the investigation and as this case goes to trial, that will be brought forth.
Have you spoken to the families? Can you tell us what they've told you today?
Are you talking the victims' families?
Yes, the victims' families.
Yeah, we have reached out to the victim's family as we always do. We've done that daily, and we've continued to have contact with them.
Hey, Nate Sanford, you mentioned earlier that you're still seeking tips about Bryan and that people should still share whatever information they have. Can you speak at all about what specifically people should be reaching out for, like if they know something?
I would say anything and everything. As we've said all along, we know what tips we're looking for. We will take those tips and we will have professionals look at those and decide which pieces of those we need to use for our case. So we ask that everybody would do that.
Angela Palermo, Idaho Statesman. Your department and other investigators on the case took a lot of flack for keeping information close to your chest. Are you glad that you did that, and were you worried about tipping the suspect off?
I will 100% stand behind the way that we handled this investigation. And this all started from day one with our patrol officers arriving on scene, locking down the scene, us calling in the Idaho State Police, us calling in the FBI, and keeping information that was pertinent to this case very, very tight. We want to have a situation where when this goes to trial, there is no doubt that we've done everything right and we've slowed down and we've continued to slow down. We'll continue to do that.
Hey, Chief. Have you guys found the murder weapon or the Hyundai Elantra?
So we are still looking for all pieces of evidence, but we are still looking for the weapon. And I will say that we have found an Elantra.
Stephanie Becker with CNN. Can you tell what it was like when you got the phone call when the police told you that they had your suspect?
I can tell you, for a lot of law enforcement, it was a fairly sleepless couple of days with as we were leading up to everything that we were doing. But what I can tell you is I have faith in those agencies across the nation. I have faith in our officers. I have faith in the FBI, and they did a great job. But sure, there was some times, even throughout the day, that we were always concerned.
Hi, Chief. Danya back at CBS News. Can you talk a little bit more about the suspect's connection to Pennsylvania?
All I know is that he lives in Pennsylvania.
Chief Guy Tannenbaum from Nonstop Local KHQ in Spokane. More about the Elantra. We saw reports that you mentioned that you recovered an Elantra, but can you specify where that was found? And we know that that was one of the biggest pieces of information you were asking from the public to tip. Were you able to provide an information on whether those tips led to this seizure of an Elantra?
That's still part of the investigation that will come out in the future.
Chief Glenn Mosley, Idaho Public Radio here in Moscow. The additional police presence in town and on campus, semester's coming. Is that going to continue?
You will continue to see state troopers in the area. You know, we're talking to Latah County as well. You will see a presence of us that we're always have up on campus. We have assigned officers to that. So you will continue to see a law enforcement presence. I'm going to take two more questions.
Hi, Chief. Julie Scott, ABC News. Can you tell us if you eventually had a license plate number to the Elantra and how you tracked it to Pullman?
That's still part of the investigation that will come out.
Chief, hi, Matt Lovelace with the Merle College of Communication. I want to ask about Mr. Kohberger as a graduate student at WSU. Are you aware of if he returned to campus after November 13th? And have you had any communication with departments on the WSU campus about his attendance?
So some of that is going to be followed up as we continue our investigation. We'll be asking some of those questions, but that'll come out in the near future. So what I do want to do is I want to thank you all. You really have been the national voice for us. You've given us the opportunity to get many, many tips, and I do appreciate everything you've done, and we'll continue to look forward to working with you in the future on this. So I'd like to thank you for that, and thank you for your time.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's JB Buno.
I'm gonna let y'all know I did scream over here. Boy, I'm okay now. Lord. A lot of people complained about the press conference that Houston had. You know, I'm also biased. I think my mayor's corrupt, the chief is corrupt. But in looking at both of the press conferences, like they were able to say, yes, we picked up the suspect because in our investigation, we had a fingerprint, an eyewitness. Then we found him looking up to get a passport and go on a trip. So we had to grab him right now. That was the second press conference. Now I understand Patrick, I forgot Patrick's last name. Over here, he was in the city, so they could grab him in the city before he got on the plane. In Bryan Kohberger's case, he went back to his hometown. Were able to confirm that is why he was where they nabbed him, because that he's from there. They didn't nab him in the Washington State University where he's getting his PhD. Yes, he was going to. We went over that last LMSYT. My last video. Shout out to Midwife K. He is a PhD student. Washington State took him off their website real quick. Why was he on their website as one of the grad students? Did they take him off after we were over there last hour? Over Ergo? Or was he been off of there? But you know, did he say nothing? Did he say no murder weapon has been recovered, or that we don't have all the pieces of the evidence? Which means, like, does it mean you have something? But if they stop the remediation at the house, that means they have to go back to that house because they didn't check for everything. I'm suspecting. Yeah, I'm thinking so too, because we looked at, he went to DeSales University. He had an MA from there, and we were looking at his courses. And one of them was like, was it like evidence, forensics, the politics of policing, and some of them dealt with what was the one? Race, ideology, and gender, and I'm just like, and I'm just thinking like, damn, was this his dissertation? I hope this wasn't his dissertation. Like how to get away with murder? Like was that it? Like I've got concerns now. Okay, they had the name of the grad student that paid on the more. That, you know what though, in that college's instance, it probably was a good thing. Colleges, when stuff like that happens, you want to make sure that you are. It's all about, well, also sensitivity to the population, but also image. You want people to keep giving you money to your university. You want your school to be safe. So you need to take off the suspected murderer name off in his picture off your website. And see, that's the part I was so mad about, because I feel like, damn, this press conference could have been on a Zoom call. A Zoom call. Like right now, the thing started at 3. It is 3:29. How long was the Houston police press conference? Like an hour? But I think it's because also, like I said, the suspect for takeoff lives here. Their suspect went back 37 hours back to Western Pennsylvania, where he's from. And they just answered to me, they answered just one question that I had several different questions. How many questions did I have for them? Okay. What was his dissertation topic? Someone told me it was Midwife K. Shout out to her. Washington State University is 9 minutes from Moscow, Idaho. And we looked at a map. You can take a car, a taxi, a train, or is it a train or a bus? Something like that. It's 15 minutes from Moscow, Idaho to where they found him. Is 37 hours. He's on I-94 and I-90. He's just going straight east. Okay. And my thing is, y'all couldn't say what car he was in. Was it not the Hyundai Elantra? Now, I do understand one thing that the Houston Police Department did and this Moscow did. They both thanked everybody who was involved, the local law enforcement, the local agencies, and the federal government who assisted them. They also asked, hey, if you have any details, please let us know. All right. I think because he went a farther distance, and I also think of white privilege too, because I looked at his first picture of him and I was like, oh, why is he why is he looking like that? Hold on. Why is he smiling? I'm trying to figure out, is this his is this his mugshot? Because he's smiling, it's weird. But now if this wasn't his mugshot, let's say it was his student ID badge or something like that, or his work badge. And I was like, okay, if this was his work badge, I was like, oh, he looked like a regular white boy. This nerdy looking went to work, This is his mugshot and his ass is smiling. I'm like, oh, psychopath. I'm just saying, it's your mugshot, sir. By the way, I thought little Cam Fifth Ward was smiling in his picture. Okay. Patrick was it Xavier Charles? He wasn't smiling. But little Cam Fifth Ward was smiling. And then this is his I guess, after he saw the judge for the extradition, because the warrant said first degree murder warrant. So they had to tell the local where he got picked up. Now he's in his suicide watch vest. He's not smiling now. So I got questions like, okay, were you at your mom and daddy house when they picked you up? Was you at your girlfriend's house? All they said was like, oh, he lives there. Okay, so that must have been your permanent residence because you were in college in Washington State. And the 4 people you killed, allegedly, because you have to say allegedly, was 9 minutes away from your house. How do you even know these for? You're 28, where you are because now when we looked at the PhD, when we looked at the Washington State University, they said that 2 things they had to do for the PhD program. They had to do be a teaching assistant or do some type of original data collection or data research. So were you their TA? Were you their tutor? What was the 4 of them's major? You know, were you at the frat house? Were you at the trunk the food truck with them? Was that your car? You the Hyundai Elantra? Was that someone else's car? Were you Ubering them? Did you Uber and drop them off? Okay. And how did you pass the 2 roommates on the first floor who didn't get touched and go to the second and third floor of the house? Did they invite you over and y'all started smoking and doing some really crazy stuff and then you got mad or something and started stabbing folks? Like, what is it? Like, I got questions. Are you running a cult? Was they your members? Or like I said, you decided on your dissertation topic, you wanted to see, hey, how can a suspect, how can I get away with murder? How can 4 people be killed and the police not find them? Because there is what? Lack of evidence, lack of eyewitness. Because look at where you're at now. You were 37 miles. You were 37 miles away. They done took your face off the college website. Sir, you are the anomaly. You are a white man with a higher education degree and you stabbed 4 people. You didn't do it with a gun. You didn't do it with an AR-15. You didn't do it. You didn't put think about all the years, y'all. Think about this. Think about this. We're real. Think about all the killings that white men and white boys been doing the last few years. What have they all been in common? They have all been somewhere between we'll say 15 to 16 and 35. They've had a AR-15 gun in their hand. They have gone into a building and they have shot up a whole group of people. Or lately, because of the holidays, they have killed their spouse and then turned the gun on themselves. This man killed 4 people at night. They lived on the second and third floor. How the fuck he get in? You over there being Spider-Man or some shit? Like, I'm trying to understand. And I'm sorry, them 2 friends at the bottom, them 2 friends, the survivors that have no marks on them, nothing, nah. I want to know their connection to this dude right here. Because why would this man say, oh, did y'all arrest anybody else? Is that part of your dissertation? Like, how many suspects need to be in the case? I got questions. And this police only answered one of them. Why was he in Pennsylvania? That's where he was from. He went home. He could say, oh, I left for Thanksgiving Christmas break. Ain't no way I was over there. Well, somehow they connected the dots. La, la, la. I'm just, what do y'all think? I'm just, y'all say something back to me. Let me go, thank you, Midwife K, for sending me the information. Let me look at it. There was some stuff on Reddit. Let me see if I can. Okay. Oh, it's signing me into my Reddit. Okay. Okay, I forgot mine. I don't know if that's it. Hmm. It's not letting me in the account. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do StreamYard. Present. It's 14 y'all in here with me. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Okay. So this is from Reddit, Court TV. Shout out to Midwife K, part of the new transcript, part of the transcript committee. Okay, let me hit that picture down so y'all can see. Okay. All right. Oh, a community for discussing live trials. Bryan Christopher Kohberger, suspect's Reddit post has already been removed. I captured the post and the questions in the comments. Email address matches the one listed on WU Criminology Department page. Oh, that's why they took him off the page. Mm-hmm. My name is Bryan. I'm inviting you to participate. Can y'all see this? Or I need to make it bigger. I'm gonna make it bigger. We all gonna read this together. Is that better, y'all? Y'all say something to me now. Don't have me talking to myself. Okay. So it says, my name is Bryan. I'm inviting you. Wait, what's the title of this? Ex-cons. Okay. All right. My name is Bryan. I'm inviting you to participate in a research project that seeks to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime. Okay, in particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense, with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout your experience. In the event that your most recent offense was not one that led to a conviction, you may still participate. Additional surveys are included after the open-ended section as to best understand your unique traits. The study should take about 15-20 minutes to complete. Your identity and all answers provided are completely confidential, and the link to the survey is an anonymous link. This research has been approved by the DeSales University IRB. So this one he did in the past and not one he did at WU. Okay. Participants must be 18 years of age and older. If you ought to participate, you may terminate participating at any time and for any reason. If you have any questions about this research, you may contact the research team via email. He's a student investigator. That's his old email address, which has probably been discontinued now. Anonymous link to the study. Okay, nothing happened. Oh, I forgot. She said it was a screenshot. My bad. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Wait. Wait, where is the thing at? Okay. Okay. It says email address matches the one listed on WU Criminology Department. So he had the DeSales one there? Interesting. I don't know what people said. What are my thoughts? Okay. Okay. What is it saying? 9 posts audited on this subreddit. Prison, ex-con. Okay. Most of reposts. Here is the way back document. Show account was suspended over an hour after the snapshot. What did he say in those posts about prison? Yes, these are the research questions. Y'all see this? Y'all see the research questions? Hold on. Okay, I do not think you can click someone post the questions further down. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me see. That's what it sounds like. He graduated in May from DeSales. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. It says, at the time of the crime, please indicate the following. Were you employed? Were you under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Where are you experiencing? Any issues with your family? Were you affiliated with the gang? Was this your first offense? Did you struggle with or fight the victim? Open-ended questions. Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? Please tell what you're thinking and feeling at this point. How did you travel to and enter the location in which the crime occurred? Before making your move, how did you approach the victim or target? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling. What was the first move in order to accomplish your goal? Before leaving, is there anything else you did? How did you leave the scene? Ooh. After committing the crime, what were you thinking and feeling? Sounds like he was looking for tips on how to do a crime. Basically asking for himself under the guise of his criminology research. I don't know what professor would accept Reddit self-survey, but I digress. Seems to be he's interviewing, looking for a cohort. He did ask, was anyone else arrested for the crime? It wasn't just any crime he was asking about, like robbing a bank. He was clearly asking about a crime involving a victim. This reminds me of how many that work in psychology are doing so important to help understand their own problems and to hopefully improve their lives as well as others. Except his motivation, assuming he is a perpetrator, was not for the benefit of others. That's PhD level writing and grammar. Should get a refund of tuition from his university. He clearly became fascinated by it. What a psycho. I found a news article. One of the fathers spoke out. He was upset that more about the stabbing wasn't told as gashing and basically tearing apart organs. What? I'm sure the police just didn't want to give specific details. And then also an anonymous post that said he hung intensities. Oh my God. Jesus. Jesus be a fan. Fix it, Jesus. But in the other article, it said that they were not sexually. Yeah. Y'all believe this mess? Oh my goodness. Can you? How did he pick them and why? That's what I really want to know. I hope this article helps. Where did you get these gruesome details? I heard what the father said, but where did this anonymous source come from and what contact was supposed to? I just thought it was weird that if the scene was that gruesome, how did the other roommates not see anything and just reported their roommates might be unconscious? That's what made me suspect about the roomies. Me too. All right, now who knows? They could have been a part of the crime too if they ever responded to the Reddit post and led him to ID to do it. Anyways, my theory now that the dude probably was around the area enough to see a pattern that their house was a party house, and if he did do something, there's going to be a lot of fingerprints or DNA to test, and if they don't have criminal records to make a connection if none of them have ever been committed. Or he was looking for accomplices. Yeah. Cops would have looked at this and that white Elantra and figured they got their man. Hope they have more than that. Mr. PhD in criminology didn't ditch the damn car. Amateur move. People in this Reddit were assuming the car was firebombed or sunk in the lake or in a parking lot in Eugene, Oregon. This dude kept kept it like he was safe. Thank God this wannabe was dumb and made mistakes. I'm sure they do in a case like this. They have the car on video somewhere. Can't go anywhere in America without video coverage. Have his phone work at cell tower pings, timestamps. Who knows what else they took from his car house. They said the killer left DNA all over the house. They known who he was for a while, just not where. Okay. Other articles have mentioned a DNA match from the crime scene. We'll see if it's just bullshit. So this guy is creepy. He appears he was planning meticulously for this crime. He must have been lonely and had no friends like his victims. He wanted to belong and wasn't accepted. All he had to do, he had was his academic, but it was not enough. Loneliness, then anger. Then blaming the victim, then murder if he did do it. Innocent until proven guilty. Wait, I heard his sister lived next door to the victims? Oh my goodness. Can you DM me his Reddit name? Oh, Criminology, but his account is suspended. Article says arrested. We will see what evidence come out at the time to the murders. It's incident to prove guilt. Everything the study he did as proof of murders are being ignorant. But hate to have those type of people in the courtroom or law enforcement. When the cops talk to Lynn about wanting to ensure they get a conviction and not just an arrest. See, that's the same thing in the takeoff case. Like, hey, we got to, dot the D's and cross the I's to make me come that he done did it, and they know this was a job well done by the local cops and FBI for keeping quiet about what they really had, and they tracked him all the way across the damn country. This is Reddit, not the court system. Criminology. Account suspended though. Did he have a white? Apparently, the police towed a white Honda Elantra from his house this morning. I read he had that white car. Wow. Google images of his post and saw it dated 212 days ago. From what I read months ago before the crimes, likely it's unrelated, just an actual school project he was doing. I think he had to do it for his thesis and decided to participate. He was a PhD major in criminology at Washington State University. That's what I think. Or someone approached him about his study and said they wanted to commit a crime. Maybe he was supposed to observe and ended up getting involved. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a freaking movie. Sorry if this has already been answered. When did he make this post with the server? 212 days ago. What if he did as a study for his research? Right. John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Herb Bowmaster seems to be a common theme with these serial killers. But would he be called a serial killer or a mass killer? What makes you a mass killer? The number of victims? Okay, one article I read quoted an old high school friend. He said Bryan had been a regular decent guy, but dropped a ton of weight and got mean. The friends group stopped hanging out with him because he always wanted to fight. Roid rage? And that's probably a throwaway account when he disclosed his identity. He probably has a main anonymous account. They're talking about his Reddit post on CNN right now. Seems to be a different university-approved criminology study like for his master's. Washington State's IRB must approve all of its students' studies. If this was for his current PhD program, this would have had Bryan's Washington State University email. True. Did someone say, what are the answers to his research asking for a friend? Oh, y'all need to stop. Oh, my God. Okay, I need to find out where. Okay, I'm going to yeah, the dad did say it was brutal, like really brutal. Whose dad said that? Okay, here's the all right. There you guys go. I need to find out where is this article. Someone put an article in from Fox News. Can I touch the Fox News article? Okay. Okay, let me do survey. Okay. Let's look at what the father said. Okay. This is from December 12th, 2022. That's when it was 4 weeks, 1 month. Okay. Exclusive, the father of slain University of Idaho student Kaylee Gonclaves told Fox News that the victims had big open gouges. Oh my God. They were clearly the work of a sadistic male and called police cowards for not sharing more with the public. Steve Combs said he asked the coroner, Kathy Mubba, how many times the victims were stabbed. She said, sir, I don't think stabs is the right word. It's like tears. Like this is a strong weapon, not like a stab. She said these were big open gouges. She said it was quick. Trigger warning. I'm sorry. I should have did trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I'm so sorry. These weren't something that you were going to be able to call a 911. They were not going to slowly bleed out. Haley Gonclave, 21, her best friend Madison Mogan, Zainer Carnot, 20, and her boyfriend Ethan Chummer were slaughtered in the early morning hours of November 13th in a rental home near campus. Moscow police, working with the FBI and Idaho State Police, have yet to publicly, but they have now. Oh, that looks so cute. Gonclave said his daughter's injury definitely did not match Mogan's wounds. They may have individually died from the exact same thing, being stabbed, but there are more details. They're not even close to matching. What? The knife slashed open Kaylee Gonclave's liver and lungs, he said. Okay, the grieving father paid for a copy of his daughter's death certificate, which included some of the details of her injuries, but he doesn't know whether his daughter or Mogan were the targets. I have my own suspicions, he said. His daughter and Mogan were ambushed in their sleep and found in the same bed, according to the coroner. Gonclave surmised that they died in Mogan's bedroom on the 3rd floor because there are photos of Kaylee's room with no blood on the bed. He had that his investigators didn't obscure the windows in his daughter's room like they did for the other victims. Although the coroner told Gonclave the victims died quickly and did not suffer, he says he's not convinced. Carnota, who had defensive wounds, and Chapman were found on the 2nd floor of 1122. It was a hell of a battle going on down there from what the coroner told us. Madbutt, when reached by phone, declined to comment on the information she disclosed to Gonclaves. The coroner told him the perpetrator was a strong individual, but police have yet to identify the suspect's gender. Okay, this is are y'all, some of y'all with me? That's why that's a good question. Like sedatives or drinks or in their food. I got argument by them not just coming out and saying that this was a woman or a man because they should know. But the amount of strength it took to deliver injury, they're just being cowards. They're just walking on the street right now that deserve to know that you're looking out for a sadistic male. Oh, y'all, I don't think I can read no more. I'm gonna put this in here for y'all. Poor daddy. He reminds me of Shanquilla's dad. Yeah. Well, this is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. If I get any more details concerning this case and some other court cases that I'm following, I will definitely come back. Please check out my last video where we went over the colleges where he went. Bryan Kohberger. Yeah, I'm just. Thank you, Lindsay, The Respective Angle, Vici, Jason Elliott. Okay, Midwife K, Kelly Harris. Okay, S. White. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. Okay. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day. Bye.